Hello. I'm hoping to do this in one take. It's just a quick, I don't know, I feel like I want to do a little quick video, even though I don't really post videos, on my deck. I hit Master 1 with, it's a cool little deck. It's a Chaos deck, obviously, with the Chaos base and the Chaos Emperor, and extra deck is very much Chaos focused. But it runs Ecclesia, which is unique, I think. I haven't really seen many lists with it. I think it's a really good card, though. Definitely the best card in the deck, I would actually say, which sounds maybe a little hyperbolic with stuff like the Valiana deck, but, yeah, I could just go through, I guess, let's just go one by one card-wise. I mean, obviously, Gamma, Combo, Maxiage, you know, either of those hand traps. Skullmeister is another hand trap. It's really niche, but I think it's perfect for this deck because level 4 Dark, you're going to do a lot of combos with level 4 Darks because you want to make your Archfiend, your Beast, you know, stuff like that. And it's just, you know, Dark Monster to banish with the Bestials and stuff. But also most things that disrupt Chaos Angel because she is unaffected by monster effects that, you know, unless you don't use light, are like Labyrinth, it's like Big Welcome from the grave, Adventure, it's the Equip spell, which they do send to the grave often. There's quite a few cards that he stopped, especially for decks that, for example, Sprite, like, they'll use, like, Nimble Ingler, right, and stuff like that. It's a nice plus one, and stops, you know, 2 bodies on board for them. And there's also a lot of decks that just don't expect you to have anything that disrupts them, for example, like, Trap Tricks, which, like, they have Holiday, they really bank on Holiday activation sometimes in, like, a grind game. Be able to just negate that is really huge, but, yeah, usually just, like, Tier Element, they always end their chain, right, with, something that, like, searches a trap somehow, or adds a trap to hand usually, like Scream. I don't know why it's always that one, but generally is, and with that you can just, you know, Skullmeister, send it, because you're gonna be scared of those traps in that matchup most. Crime and Solic, mostly Solic, honestly. Unless you have the grass in hand, then obviously Crime is the big scary card, but usually Solic on your Chaos Angel will be detrimental. And yeah, so yeah, it just comes up a lot, I think, and I think it's perfect in this meta. The only deck it's not good against is Cash, but I don't know, it has a good Catch matchup, and I think, technically Sword Soul, it's not that great. It's just like a, you know, just stop their draw, but any you know, you're gonna lose to Sword Soul anyways, probably. That's so awkward as it sounds. And even like Flu, you know, you stop the graveyard effect to the trap, and that's huge. That just wins the game usually. Yeah, so I think Skullmeister is definitely really good in this, but you can switch him up if you want. Snow, Core, it's the Chaos card, usually banishes, you know, you know, with grass. And especially as Cash Tira, you can you normal summon, flip Fenrir down, they can't respond, right? Same with like you want to bait out negation with like Baron, you just, you know, force that one. So yeah, it's a very good card. Maybe could run 3, but I like 2. I don't run too many normal summons, you see how many level 4s I have in deck. It's like, you know, you don't wanna, as much as some of these can be special summoned, right? You don't want to have to special summon them always. Or, I mean, you can, but, like, you don't want to, what's the word? Like, you sometimes can't special summon this one. And, like, yeah, usually it's just, you don't want too many level 4s. But yeah, so Fawn of Abad, you summon him off of Ecclesia, usually. This card's the, you know, the main card of the deck, I said. If your opponent controls more monsters, you special summon it. And then you contribute her for either Fawn of Albaz, which will trigger his effect, or the Golden Sword Soul, which no one really runs that often, but I think is really good. Basically the combo with this, you know, you don't really care about the first effect in hand. It comes up occasionally, not that often. It's just basically a Karibo, but like worse. And, oh, not really a little better. Sphere Karibo, it's the Sphere Karibo. Then on top of that you have, you know, this last effect in the grave, special summon 1 light spellcaster with the same stats. Mainly you're summoning Ecclesia off that. There's a couple other things you can run. You can run like Iris, Sword Soul if you really wanted to for level 8 plays, but I don't run many level 2 tuners besides tokens from Chaos Switch. I was like in Gamma, so I'm like, I'm not really gonna run that really. And I think this is good. This is enough. So yeah, it's it's like a lot of good synergy with like so the main play is you would go Ecclesia, like go then like any Bestial. You can make Chaos Angel, or actually you'd make you'd go Ecclesia, summon a Bestial, tribute Ecclesia for Sword Soul, and then you would make Chaos Angel, banish a monster, and then you would revive Golden Sword Soul, Golden Social revives Ecclesia, right? And you can either combo off again with another bestial, another card in hand you have, maybe like a Sharon, or banish, you know, if you've got grass or something, you can banish. No, usually it's just going to be another bestial, but sometimes not. Sometimes you just have to end on an Ecclesia and a Chaos Angel, and that's fine, because then next turn you can tribute her. It's a quick effect to tribute her. That is negation too, very nice. And pops and stuff. Be a tribute her for Fawn of Albaz, and that triggers, and you know, you can make not too many targets in here, just Mary Jade and Brigand, which is for level 8. So you could also run Sprined. I didn't want to run Sprined because I thought this would come up more. Which sounds kind of silly, but I think, I mean, you're not really scared of Link monsters that much. There's not too many, besides like Sprite, it's not going to come off often. And another one is like Exceed monsters, which, I mean, it's fine. Like you have enough good matchups against like Cash, for example. That's the main Exceed deck, right? And against stuff like Flu. Flu is really good for this card instead of Sprined, right? The Sprined is the this one, yeah. Sprined, the effect monster, the special summon this turn. It's like, that's not. It comes up, but I think this one's more generic, and yeah. So yeah, it's just your send with Mary Jade usually though. And yeah. So next, Sharon. Honestly, this is not the best card in the deck, but it has use because they will occasionally just negate this for some reason. I don't know why, but they're like, oh Sharon, get rid of it. And, you know, it's a tier limit card. Or if they TTT you, easy. If you don't have grass in hand, they always hit Sharon. If you have grass, they're gonna have grass, right? Obviously, but Sharon really like is like the bait. Like same with like if they have Shuffler, they will always shuffle back Sharon on like the first thing when I activate grass. They'll shuffle it. If they have Bestial and I have a monster, they will banish the Sharon. They don't care. They just think, oh Sharon, it's here, it's so good, it's the best deck. You know, it's like it's not. I'm starting Mud Dragon with this. I'm only starting Mud Dragon. That's my target. My single target is Mud Dragon. Usually, ideally, shuffle back Fallen of Albaz, someone with Ecclesia, or someone back shuffle back any like I want to search this maybe sometimes. I'll do that instead. But it doesn't matter. It's just you have plenty of darks usually within. Yeah, but sometimes you just want to special summon it by discarding maybe like Driver, Open Driver, a surprising amount in this deck. Just that's my luck maybe, but Open Grass is a good amount too, so can't complain too much. Yeah, sometimes you want to just do a Driver discard, or you can still get value off of Surrender, kind of, sort of, not really, but it's like there's usually you can afford one card drop. It's the same with the Chaos Witch. If you go Sharon at the Chaos Witch discard, then you can banish it with the Serenir Baldric. That's a level 6 beast or horse, and then a level 8. Or you just go 8 and then into 10, right up. And then you could have the free Sharon on the field. For another play with like another normal summon into Chaos Archfiend, or you can normal summon into or you can make another beast show into like Baron, or not Baron because you're stuck into Light to Darks, but another Chaos Angel if you wanted to. Which, I mean, double Chaos Angel is pretty good. But yeah, it's like going second deck, as you mentioned, by the way. You do pick going second. Usually, you can theoretically, if you get forced to go first, you can make plays. You can make like a Chaos Angel pass. It just doesn't feel good to like. They just have Regeki. I haven't seen Regeki, but it'd be funny if you're not that strong against going first. If they're running a going second deck, they're probably running like Super Poly or something that can destroy your Chaos Angel. And like even like Underworld Goddess, right? Everyone runs that, so they'll just do that, and then there's one Chaos Angel gone already. But yeah. So yeah, this is going second deck. But Chaos Witch, you're also running. I think this card is underrated technically, but it's not crazy. Basically it's to get level 2 light tuners, because Chaos Beast and Archfiend can only use light tuners. It's a very big restriction, I think, on them for some reason. Same with them using also dark non-tuners. It's in the theme of Chaos Goddess, right? Chaos Goddess is the OG. It's not a good card. I wish they gave more support for it, but basically in theory, it's one light tuner, 2 darks, which is the same restriction they have. And in theory, you could actually make this with like you tribute Chaos Witch, then you summon a you summon Ecclesia first and tribute Chaos Witch with their own effect to summon 2 Dark Beasts. But like we're not gonna want to do that. You don't want to do that ever. I think it's not good. But I mean theoretically you could do it if you wanted to put her instead of like This extra deck's pretty tight, honestly. I don't really know what you cut, but yeah, I mean, it's tough. Probably the hardest, honestly, sadly. But yeah, Chaos Switch, mainly you're just gonna banish it, from the grave with a Bestial, or Chaos Emperor, or Snow. Snow's probably the best hit with, if you get, you know, it's mainly like a super good grass card or a lore card. It doesn't, if you banish it from field, it does not get the tokens. I hate this restriction, I don't know why. It's just, you have to do it from hand or grave, so you can't banish from deck with Gold Sark, which makes sense, it's a little too strong. But, only from hand or grave, so you can allure, banisher, it comes up. It's not like it's never gonna come up, but it doesn't come up that often. The main way you're gonna see it is by like milling it with Chaos Ruler, and then using Chaos Ruler's effect to banish it. Revive, that's 2 tokens, you can go into Chaos Angel and whatever else you have on the field. That's a really nice, you know, it's technically a +2, it's, you know, two monsters, but like, it's their tokens, right? So it's like, it's good. The main issue with this card is the restriction is for the whole turn, even before you use it, right? Unlike most cards that are like Mirage Dragon until it's after the rest of the turn, right there. Which is for the whole turn, which is a little annoying with cards like Sheeran and Albaz, but thankfully you're basically using Albaz and Sheeran as, please negate this, I hope I don't resolve this, I want this to be negated, because I hope you're scared of it, right? If I'm going Ecclesia into Albaz, I never expected someone Mirror Jade with this. I'm always expecting at least 1 negation, right? So that's fine, because I mean, if I get it off, it's a Mirror Jade, it's Mirror Jade, it's great, right? But like, usually it's perfectly fine. I can make plays with this level 4 in the field. Even if it's gone, I can still make plays after that usually. And it's fine. So I just gotta discard, maybe I can discard Snow, or maybe I can discard, you know, something else to get some value off of something. Even Witch sometimes, like I said. But yeah, so usually like, you know, you don't wanna have to like, if you know they don't have anything that's gonna stop your Sheeran, if they're on like Flu, right? Flu's not gonna have anything to stop Sheeran. If you have a Witch in grave, you might just not even want to make her. Make Mud Dragon, but Mud Dragon's a nice little level 4. To have with your combos, because you're mostly running level 4s and 6s and other things like that. So it does work out. I should mention now, Mud Dragon, as much as you can change light and dark for making any of these stuff, right? Usually it's these guys or this guy. You cannot, if you use Mud Dragon for Chaos Angel and you make it light, it will not count as a light monster for effect. It's a little annoying effect, reason, because like technically the tokens count as lights, right? Why doesn't Mud Dragon, right? But because it's a water and grave, it's a water and grave, so it does not work. But that's okay, because it's still, you get the you know, you still get the monster on field, which is the main point of the effect, and you still get these 2 out with their full effects too. Beast and Archfiend, which is worth it still. So it's you know, it's a nice little extra body, if you, or mainly, like I said, it's to negate, it's to force out baits and like hope they negate it, you know. So what else we have? We have Chaos Mirage Dragon, which is pretty good. I am running at 2. I think I was breaking too much with 3, because like I said, you don't want to have too many level 4s that don't put summon themselves. Basically it targets one lighter banished, one banished lighter dark. It could be from either player's field, so especially with Bestials, you banish the opponent monsters, you can revive them, right? So it's actually kind of nice. A lot of Gamma follow-up is with this card for some reason. And whenever I have Gamma, I often have this card just in my hand, luckily. And that'll be like, either I can make a level 2, you know, because this can be summoned back if you Gamma, right? So if you Gamma turn 1, and you know, you're going second, you have Mirage Self, which you can pick either level 6 for a Chaos Angel or a... It should just be Chaos Angel, yeah, because you can't make Baron with this effect. Or Gamma, which is, you know, another if you have another combo piece, you can keep going. But yeah, so Mirage is, you know, you special summon it, it's negated, but you can actually theoretically summon a Chaos Angel, which is kind of funny, there's no level restriction. But yeah, it's negated, so it's just a beater or a Shinker material, but you cannot special summon except light or dark from the extra deck. This restriction along with Chaos Switch does hurt this card right here, which is Pendulum Monster. Basically you're going to be summoning it from extra deck usually. You don't have to, you can definitely just summon it from hand, but you don't get the +1. So you make it, you put it on your Pendulum skill, and you get the +1 from the banish pile of any banished dragon, and then it goes to the extra deck, and then you can summon it from the extra deck. It's bottom effect. It's basically, instead of from hand, it's from hand or extra deck. Banish light and dark. And then you don't really use the effect on field much. You can. I do use it occasionally. Or just bait with it. Again, like there's a lot of baits with this you can do in the deck. Where you send all cards to the cave on your field, and then you can send the same cards to the opponent. And there's a bit of effect damage and cost with the you have to be like half your life points, but I haven't really worried about that too much. And the burn damage is like it comes up maybe, and I've never seen it come up, but it's free burn, so it's if they want to. I don't think you do, but and also it doesn't go to the grave. It's returned to the bottom of the deck instead of being banished, which is fair. It'd be a little too good if it was banished from the field, and you don't want to be back in the pendulum zone because that'd be crazy with an extra deck, right? It'd be too good. So yeah, it's balanced, but yeah, that does get stopped by Chaos Witch and Mirage. You can still summon it from hand though. Just can't summon it from the extra decks. You can't use the little combo with adding a card from your banished to hand. Yeah, you can't make the pendulum effect then summon it the same turn you use either of these. But I still get much use out of this card. It's always live whenever I open it. And it's just a good card, right? Because if you open like way to discard Chaos Witch and this card, you can still just hard summon it from hand, banish Witch, get a token to use into Chaos Angel, and then you have an extra token for the play. I'm assuming you're having another monster. You should have another monster. It's rare for not all these are just monsters. Right? This is a monster. This is a draw 2 if you want it to be. Hopefully, if the opponent lets you. And regained is like, and it's usually a draw 1. I do run 3 because I can set later. But yeah, so Mirage really good as a combo piece, and also the second effect when it's sent as a synchro material. Assuming you use something that's from what's the word? It's something that you're not using like tokens, like you don't want to use Chaos Wish tokens for this, I don't believe. Maybe it works, I'm not sure. But you would get to chain block, right? So if you were to summon, let's say you summon Chaos Angel with this, level 6 banished, you would get to activate Chaos Angel effect, target a card, expected to be hit with like Imperm or something dumb, but then Chaos Mirage Drag, or if you don't, whatever you think is more likely to be negated, right? You do that one first or second. Chaos Mirage Dragon's another banish though. Usually it's just a 1 banish, which is fine. I guess you theoretically could have you could normal summon Max C, but it's not gonna happen. Yeah, I don't really want too many low level non-tuners, or low level tuner, yeah, low level non-tuners, yeah. So it's mostly just a banish 1 in this deck, and it's very reliable for like banishing 2 cards at once is huge, right? Every second, that's like banish their super strong back row, banish the monster. It's that's huge. So it's a nice little, and it's a chain block, so they can't just negate your Chaos Angel with like Baron to Floor or something. Which they usually do try to wait. For some reason, they don't really respect this card because like, oh, this is a meme card, but it's good. It's cute, it's fine. I like it anyways. But yeah, on to the bestials. Obviously, they're bestials. They're really good. Don't really know much explaining here. You actually don't often go into Lebellion as odd as it sounds. You can make them a lot of times. But I mean, well, it's hard to say. I mean, I don't want to maybe it's too inflammatory, but honestly, these level 6s are better for you usually on the field. And people will instantly banish your Lebellion with their bestial, or they'll shuffle it. Like they're so scared of Lebellion, they underestimate these guys. Cause like these are my how I synchro. Right? I want to go 4 into 10 with either Baron or Chaos Angel. You could run Ching-Ying too. I don't run it because I didn't never make it. I was like, why Chaos Angel is better? I mean, it's this bigger attack and you can protect from destruction, but against a lab it can come up. Everything else it's not gonna, and even lab it's like they're still just gonna hit you with a big welcome pounce, right? So unless you have the Skullmeister, so or like even Ice Dragon's Prison, right? Because you're running worms. I believe isn't Ching-Ying a worm? I think so. Ching-Ying, yep, worm. But yeah, so yeah, but honestly, like I said, these are your combo, like how you synchro usually. Not always, of course, and you can also make this guy, which I get more into later. He's the best rank 6. Don't at me. But yeah, these are actually much more valuable than the Lebellion on field. You can still tribute Chaos Emperor for it, or like Chaos Ruler is often when I tribute for it. If I'm gonna summon Lebellion, I won't actually usually want to tribute these guys, which is unique in this deck. It's not like the usual, have Assault Synchron and go for a big play. I like this more. Mainly because, you're gonna be hit with with, you know, so many graveyard disruption with like, oh, bestial, it's bestial mirror, they're gonna banish your Levion instantly. It's like, okay, fine. But I mean, it's kind of cute how if they do that, you can still use this card, and you can you know, just recover it back. So if you go Levion effect, they banish your Levion in response to you summoning, or yeah, if you somehow like summon this guy, then they banish the Levion. You use this card, put it in the pendulum zone, and then you add back Levion. You can summon it from hand if you wanted to, or you could just add something else if you wanted to. I usually go Levion and summon it from hand. Something like then I can make Chaos Emperor from the extra deck, and I usually use Chaos Emperor to make Levion instead. But it's very what's the word? Not linear, right? It's very much a different plays for different hands, for different situations, board states, opponents. Everything changes depending on what's going on in the duel, which I like a lot. There's no like, this is the correct play, this is what you do, this is the combo. There's no like, there's 2-card combos and neat interactions, but there's no set in stone, this is my play, which I like a lot. I think that's unique. It's not unique, but it's rare to find in this meta right now. A lot of stuff that has like very ultra consistency, like Sword Soul and stuff, it's like you're always making the same thing. That's fine if you want to be consistent, but I like having fun with like just like RNG and like learning what's good here and what's good there against which opponent. You know, it all matters, and I think that's really fun. But yeah, so I've already explained this. Also, I want to mention too, Chaos Emperor is really good resource against Labyrinth, oddly enough, because, well, the effect actually comes up more against Labyrinth than anything else, I think. Because, you know, you send them to the grave and they have to either pop him early or they lose cards, right? Or they have to negate him. And if you negates, by the way, the send is not a cost. So you can pay, paying half LP is the cost, obviously, because it's paying. But when you activate him, you pay half your LP, then they can negate it, or you can resolve it. And you would have to lose all your cards on the field besides him if he's an extra X zone. If he's not, you don't even get the... theoretically, if you summon him from hand, you will shuffle him back to the deck without a card being sent from the opponent's field. So you don't really want to do that, unless you're like really like bold, or you know it's an imperm or something. And you have like maybe like a branded regained you don't need, you know. But yeah, usually you just use this to bait against like lab, or if they have dimensional barrier, they'll have to use dimensional barrier on pendulum, which is fine because this is your only pendulum monster, right? And you really are a synchro deck. Same with like Albaz, which is like if they're Sheeran, if they have to call fusion because they're scared. But like Brigand does not do anything. Like you don't care. If they negate this, it's perfectly fine. Right? They lose their like lovely and their lady, and it's like whatever. Okay, they shouldn't be calling dimensional barrier, but they do. So yeah, and then you can actually pop off your actual plays. You know, with you know, it's really fun. But yeah, I was having an issue with dimensional barriers. I think these cards helped a lot with it. Well, I always had this card on, but the fusion monsters helped a lot. And yeah, so and then Allure of Darkness, again, you banish Chaos Witch ideally. In an ideal world, you banish Chaos Witch, or something to recover with Chaos Emperor. But, something just to banish, like Skullmeister, which Skullmeister is good in this deck just because of that alone. The interaction is like, it's worth it, right? Because like, you can run like DD Crow, but DD Crow is just the worst, it's just the worst, worst bestial, right? Because you can't stop, like, I mean, you could stop Big Welcome early, but, like, you're gonna draw into stuff late sometimes, and it's like, and there's certain niche cards, like, I'm trying to think of, I remember, like, thinking it out, and I was like, yeah, Skullmeister is way better. Obviously, the level alone is good. But other reasons why I thought Skullmeister was better, I think, maybe they have two. If they like two Big Welcome, right, then you're just doomed if they have two in game. Or like something like that, right? It's like, I swear there's more. I swear there's a lot more. Mirror Jade, that's it, yeah. If you theoretically, like, were to branded beast, because Mirror Jade, this destruction effect, if the opponent is in, like, you're in a branded match, this destruction effect, the board wipes, will not, your Chaos Angel is affected by it, because it's only it's monster effects activated by your opponent. It's technically a weird passive, even though it activates, it's a passive. So, being able to Skullmeister, that Mirror Jade actually comes up a lot in the ideal situation, which I think is, or like, you know, yeah, just, I don't know, I mean, yeah, usually I think about, is it? Yeah, you can even do this in, like, damaged up, so, yeah, if you run it over, too, you can just, you know, Skullmeister that, and you keep your Chaos Angel safe. It doesn't comes up a good amount. But there's cards I'm not remembering that are just like better for Skullmaster than DD Curl right now, even alone with the level 4 and stuff. But yeah, so Allure of Darkness, good card. Grass, it's my favorite card in the game. I know it's a little controversial, but I like it a lot. It's a 20% chance to open it. Remember, because you win 60 cards, you have 2, but you have a good amount of draw cards. You have this is a draw, this is a draw, this is a draw, this is a draw. Like every spell draws besides because just your opponent, right? And you have the max C, you get max C if you more draws. But people are often scared of max C because if they give you draws, there's more chance to run into that aggressive screener, and it's like you're fine, right? Like they have to stop. If they could keep going a little bit, but if you resolve grass, you win maybe 80% of the time, 90% of the time. But then with that, it comes the drawback of if they run a bigger deck, then you get less value off of it. Or if you're running a brickier deck because you're running 60 cards, right? It comes up, it matters, but yeah, I think it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth running a 60 card deck with 2 grass than a 40 card deck without any grass, I think. That's up to preference. I think I just filled it with text instead, right? It's like mostly like, obviously you can run just like, oh yeah, Ecclesia and V-Shows, that's it, that's a deck. But I think I threw in like so many texts, I'm like, yeah, you know what, let's have a bunch of hand traps, go second, book of Eclipse, get into why this is great. It's a nice little, yeah, I think it's worth it. I think it's definitely worth it to fit more cards in. TTT, just really good right now. I actually had to play around it quite a bit from the opponent too, because right, B-Shows always, you want to use those to disrupt the opponent plays, like D-Link or Cheer. They'll often run TTT as well. But you can also make them activate their stuff from the main phase too. That's mainly like Lab and, what's the deck? Lab and... There's one more deck that doesn't really care about it. What is I'm trying to think. Oh, not Cash, no. What deck doesn't... Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe it's just Lab. I think it's just Lab. Yeah, I think it's just Lab, because they would just draw phase everything if they can, right? But they usually don't. And usually don't, but they could. It was dead like one game against them I had. I think, yeah. But, yeah, it comes up pretty much always if you have a play. It just sucks to, have to give up like your Ecclesia to make this happen, right? If they have, But honestly, like especially like if you open like Gamma GTT, you're just praying like, please activate a monster effect, please max me, please max me, or like if you have Ash and this, because Ash, keep in mind, if you negate that effect, you don't get it, but Ash Blossom negates the negates the activation. It doesn't activate, right? So if you Gamma, you can't TTT. But Ash, so if they max you Ash it, it only negates the effect instead of the activation. You can still TTT, right? That's how it works. Yeah, it's a nice little like synergy there. Though I mean, you're going second. They're gonna have a monster on the field, which yeah, it'll come up. Chaos Base, Corn, just about any Chaos deck right now. We don't run the Wyver Burst Collapse Serpent stuff. I don't think they're that good. Which maybe people both think, wow, it's crazy. But I mean, I don't want to go into like dragons and stuff, right? It's not like I want to keep tuners for Chaos Beast and Catch Archfiend because they come up a lot. Same with Chaos Ruler. Like these are great cards. Even Baron, like yeah, Baron is Baron. I mean, and these are much better, I would say. And also these get much more value off of milling, right? Because if you mill and with Chaos Ruler, if you have these two somehow engraved together, you can just revive, right? So yeah, it's just much better. And like even Tear Lament, one of the mill for you, right? So it's like, thanks, 10 more mills, I'll take it. I'm not gonna negate that, never. Unless I'm like have lethal, right? And I have to. But yeah, wait. Okay, Hairspace, yeah. So yeah, it's just a nice +1, and there's a lot of times where yeah, you can shuffle back Gamma, shuffle back these two if you have to banish one of your any of your extra deck monsters. It works on Chaos Space to shuffle back. This is a little scary if they ash this because it's a -1 if they ash it, but usually hopefully you can discard like a Witch or even a Golden Sword Soul is fine, or Snow is fine. There's cards you have in the game you like to have in the game, but just not many. And also the interaction with this is because you're in this guy too, right? So he's another target. Instead of Wyvern Burst, whatever burst or whatever it is, you can run this guy. And so if you discard a light, you get this guy. If you discard a dark, you get this guy. Which I think is all you ever need, really. I do break on this card occasionally when I like top deck into it. And like it's like regain, like, oh no, I got this instead. I wanted like a bestial, or I wanted a honestly this card, if you're like, imagine you maxi, right? And they're like, oh, I'm just gonna hope he doesn't open a bestial because you have like you already use like 3 of them, right? And there's only like 6 in deck, and there's a 6 card deck. Like you're gonna be fine, right? I obviously, but there's a real small chance extra of like, oh, top gold and sword soul, it'll save you. it's a Krivo, it's a spare Krivo, right? Dueling's players now, but it does come off, a little bit, but yeah, Chaos Base is not an ideal top deck, but you know, you mill it with grass and you get a +1, so that's great. That's pretty much it. Regained is, I run 3, like I said earlier. I like 3 regained because, well, for a few reasons. Obviously, the first one, like I said before, I'm often using these bestials for synchros instead of Lebellion. Now, if I have Chaos Emperor, or if I go into Chaos Ruler, I can still make Lebellion, right? But, a lot of hands you don't actually want to give up your bestial for Lebellion, even if they don't disrupt it at all. But you can do it like thinking like an imperm, because I was gonna imperm him, which is kind of neat interaction there. But yeah, I run 3 regain because the second effect is not hard once per turn. People don't often realize this. They only run 1. It's once per chain. So if they summon, and somebody decks summon on the opponent turn, but I mean it's a little silly. But if you didn't lethal, this is not like it's a going second deck, but it's not an OTK deck per se. You can OTK, but usually you're just kind of setting up like a nice strong monster, you banish a couple cards, and then you're going for, you know, a nice little, you know, after disrupting with so many hand traps, you're likely gonna gain the advantage seat. And your graveyard set up for next turn, you have really good plays, and regained is this grind game card. This is what you want for the grind game. Running 3 is a little, it sounds not good, you can run 2. But I like 3 because, you know, it's I mean, you're gonna vanish a card going first. If you have any sort of play at all, it's gonna happen, right? And you always want to shuffle back, like Albaz, you want to shuffle back here. If you have to shuffle back Driver, you can do that too. I don't know, and you really want to keep it in the grave, but if it's banished somehow with like Runic, you know, you could do it still. You know, these two are good shuffle backs if you don't have Chaos Emperor. I also pick Mirage a lot of times too, but you know, it's even like Witch is good. A lot of good target, you know, anything can be shuffled back if you need to. Yeah, it's a nice draw one. You don't really need too many. Besides Mirage Dragon and like Chaos Emperor, you don't use your banish on, right? You're using your grave to banish, not really the other way around. Besides those 2 cards. And I guess Chaos Space as well, right? So I think it's, you know, it's always going to be a +1. Or no, it's a neutral. It's a neutral, at least, a minimum. And at best, it's a +1, even on the first turn, not going second, because most of the meta right now summons on your turn. And if you send a bestial to the grave somehow, if it got milled or something like that, and they summon a monster after that, you will get that summon from the grave. And that is super strong because if they do something with like, for example, Labyrinth, right? If they pop your bestial, with like Welcome, they have a field spell. That's an easiest thing ever. Just, okay, regain the effect, survive the bestial. Like, it doesn't matter, right? It's like, it's a really nice card. And there's a few like that, like Tiamat, right? They'll Kaleido Heart you or whatever. They'll Rukulus you and they'll send like a thing to fusion summon. It's like, oh, thanks, like another monster. And it's like, it's surprisingly a very good +1, even right away. And then for follow-up, it's a nice little, like, you know, I could do this extra, I can do this extra every turn. And this does win me many games because of the advantage it gives. It's +2 every turn cycle, at worst, and it's just like, you know, or not at worst, but usually it's +2. And they don't often have the resources to remove this card and monster like a Chaos Angel, right? That's kind of pick. And so this is what gives me, you know, the grind game advantage I need. And it not being once for a chain on the last effect, the draw is once for a chain, or once per turn, sorry. But if they summon 2 monsters, you just go, okay, I'm gonna summon another bestial, right? If your graveyard is stacked with bestial, it's like, sure, thanks, I'll summon another one. Like, why not? It's a free effect, right? And you got Druid's Worm, you know, defense, you know, it's really good. Book of Eclipse is, it's just the anti-meta pick right now. Good against Cashier, obviously, it just came out. But honestly, this I'm running partially to bait Ash, because it's ashable, because it draws them cards at the end phase. But if they ash this, I can grass, or I can chaos space, or I can Lilion, or I mean, even a lure. But I'm not really gonna. I don't care if they lure, if they ash a lure that much usually. Unless they have the chaos switch in hand, right? But yeah, Book of Eclipse is really good just to say, you know what, your negates, you have to either use one up or you don't have them. And a lot of decks right now still don't have, like, if they don't summon Baron, they don't often have a negate, like Branded, for example. They'll have, you know, they'll have the one disruption from Beast maybe, but they won't have, or Banishment, but they're not gonna, like, they have Mirror Jade, they don't have a negate on field, right? Same with Tier. Unless they have Crime, let's use Crime, which using up Crime is huge, because most of your effects are graveyard effects and hand effects. Seldiak is annoying for Angel, like I said, but not the worst thing in the world at all. So I really like the Book of Eclipse in this build. It's definitely up to preference, but I just like this a lot. And also, if you look here, you're a little low on spell, like quick play spells. It's so many normal and continuous spells, right? That's all, and this and that is the only thing you have quick play. And technically you get eradicated by Vlad, which I don't really think is too common right now, but I didn't see at least. But if it does happen, you can always just, you know, Book of Eclipse before there's a searcher or something like that, and that's like, well, that'll help a lot. Same with like Dimensional Barrier, right? You can flip them down. It's just a lot of the common stuff right now. Even like Sprite, it's it doesn't feel that good because they have a bunch of Link monsters, but it forces out the carrot, which is huge. Then you can actually make your, you know, big play, or you can just use triple attack as talent, right? And it's like forcing a monster effect is huge usually for a TTT. Onto the just called by, obviously it's called by. I was hoping to I guess you technically could, you know, banish then Mirage Dragon their stuff, but you have enough beast shells that don't really come up. And then beast, honestly, you don't need maybe it's a hot take. It's a good threat with Lilion, right? But and it does win like the grind game again. Because, you know, oh wow, theoretically you mill 2 regain, then every turn you get another regain back, and it's crazy, it's insane. But and don't worry, if you mill this with grass, who cares? It's good, but it's not crazy. It's just nice to have about 1, I think. Hope we don't open it too much, but even opening it isn't the worst thing, because, you know, you're gonna have a bestial probably to summon from hand next turn, and you're chilling. On the extra deck, Mud Dragon off of the Sheeran, Brigand and Mirror Jade off of the Ecclesia to Albaz, or just Ecclesia, or Albaz normal summon. Doesn't look too much, but it comes up, especially with, you know, you have to at least 1 more because of the Mirror Jade effect to send 1. Horus is a tech pick. I run this to make with, if I don't, so this is my only level 6 I can make with Snow, or, yeah, Snow, or actually just Snow and Snow and the token. What's it called? The witch tokens. It's not needed necessarily, but if you grass and you have nothing else, you can still make Horus, and you can keep going with another. You make Horus, then you make witch, or no, how you make Angel, right? If you mill Snow and witch, you could definitely cut this for another level 6 or another. Just not, you don't even need to run this. You can just run like just beast and just hope you don't have to worry about Snow plus witch tokens, but it does come up a little bit. And it's a nice way to play around Dimensional Fissure and what's it called? Necro Valley, for example. Anything that's any big like floodgate, you can just, you know, special summon Ecclesia, normal summon witch, tribute witch, summon Horus, then go into Chaos Ruler, and you're fine, right? You're big chillin'. That's like the one time which comes up in the field. Or you could even go like Gamma with like Alvaz or Sheeran too, you know, that kind of stuff. So it does come up, but it's not crazy. Oh yeah, Sheeran is other. And even Sheeran you can make this instead, but sometimes you want the negate, right? It's just a negate. You don't really have the other effects in this deck. I was running Galaxy Serpent a long time ago, which was kind of funny, but unaffected 2300 body doesn't really do much, right? It's kind of bad. Beast is it's you know, it's gonna be a 3000 attack monster in this deck, almost always. But the main thing you want is just the add from graveyard, vanish pile to hand. And it technically has a graveyard effect. I never used it, I never resolved it. But it's a nice little, you know, banish from the grave, and for someone it's the worst cast ruler because it's not the same turn, but that's fine. Yeah, it's just, you just want the add back from Vanish Pile, because you can keep going a lot with this, and you kinda, it's level 6 for all your plays, which, you know, you're mostly level 6 focus deck, honestly, with level 4, like I said before. And I think this card is very underrated, even more so than Archfiend. I think honestly Obese is better than Archfiend mostly, but there's these times where Archfiend's good. Chaos Ruler, your go-to, this is what they banish in Cashier right now if they have Mind Hacker or Fenrir. Honestly, you could run 2 over either a 3rd Chaos Angel or a Horus, or you could cut the Sheerans. I like the Sheerans, but you can cut the Sheerans and the Mud Dragon if you wanted to and run 2 Chaos Ruler. But I think 1 is enough. I don't really... I feel like the Cashier matchup's easy enough where I don't really mind it, which maybe sounds offensive. I'm sorry, Cashier players. Yeah, it's just not that... It's not that huge, but it's huge when you want it to be, right? Because you would just, keep sending ways with 2 level 4s, or level 6 and level 2, to make this, you know, just Gamma alone is just a 1-card Chaos Ruler. And that's just, you know, it's so much advantage. It's like a +3, +4? I mean, it depends on what you mill, right? But, usually it's like a plus... It's minimum... Assuming you add a card, I mean, you could unlucky with, like, triple maxi, double ash, but, like, realistically, it's gonna be a, +1 from top of the deck, and you mill hopefully there's 1 graveyard effect, or 1 card you can use in the grave, and then it's another summon back when you use it. So that's gonna be, like, a +2, maybe, but usually something +1, but it's usually, like, more than that. And Archfiend is just a OTK card if you need it. It can also float after it's gone from the opponent. You know, opponent removes it somehow without, you know, bouncing it. Bouncing is annoying for this card because of the Rolling Chain Skier, so it doesn't trigger the Remove from Field effect. Or no, it's a few years ago actually. When I played Duel next, yeah. Yeah, it's 4500 attack with their, you know, requirement if any card's been banished, and, you know, it wipes the field and you banish them all. Really good in Trap Tricks, actually. Trap Tricks is the main card to use this in, or against, rather, because, you know, they can float into something else instead, which is way better than just going into Angel and getting, like, floodgated. But usually it's not floodgate, usually it with, like, what's the Terrifying, or the Terrifying Trap Hole, they hit you with the one that's, like, when a monster special summon, negate and destroy it, and it's like, okay, cool, thanks. Or someone Chaos Angel instead. You don't get the effects off of this if you summon it with you don't get the light and dark effect, you just the banish and a big body, but that's usually pretty good. Baron, it's you know, unless you're making play with Mirage or Witch, you can always go into this card instead. With the Ecclesia and Cernir, or with, you know, Gamma, or yeah, it's mostly just Ecclesia and Golden Sword Soul. And Gamma. But yeah, it comes up. Definitely sometimes you just have to one-shot, because they have... You have to pop a card, you have to force a negate, if you know it's like something scary. You're gonna want this card for sure. And then, yeah, the triple Chaos Angel, you could run 2. I like 3. I have summoned 3 in a turn, but not in this deck. It was with Galaxy Serpent. It's not harder in this deck to do 3 in a turn. It's usually 2 in a turn. But you can make, you know, a 3rd one next turn. Yeah, you could do 2 or 3. Dampier, Vampire Sheridan, like I said earlier, is the best strength 6 in the game. At least right now. Or at least in this deck, right? Like, there's definitely some good ones, but, like, in this deck, I like it, because, you know, if you TTT the opponent monster, you don't really have that many link monsters, right? You have 2, right? You're not really going to go in too much. These 2 both use opponent monsters instead, at any level. Those only have levels, right? And then you can send a card that you control. Hopefully you can send a monster, sometimes you can't, sometimes send a back row, that's fine. But if you send a monster, you can revive it with the second effect. You detach both materials, summon it back, And this is really good in Cashier matchup. It's only really bad in tier. Anything else it's really good against. I guess technically like Dragon Link and then Borderland you can't use it, but everything else, and usually you have something else. Right? They usually Baron. But if you just send Baron, if you're already using the gate, you just get Baron, right? It's free. There's a lot of cool little like things. I want to take this. I want this now, and you make the other one with this, or you go Zombie Vampire first, then it's a Vampire. A lot of different options you have, and they work well together. I think Zombie Vampire is definitely cool already, right? Everyone runs that with Chaos Emperor and the Billion, and Chaos Ruler, but I think Vampire is definitely the best option because Cashier you send either their big 3000 attack defense Execute monster, or you send Fenrir and you banish the 3000 attack defense with Fenrir instead, and you just take the Fenrir, right? It's really nice. Yeah, I like it a lot. And also it's yeah, you can also just run it over instead and you get the same thing. Yep. Yeah, so you can run with anything. It doesn't be with this card. It can be with the Chaos Angel, run over something, then share an effect, then you attack with it and everything. Same with Zombie Vampire. It's it's I think core in most Chaos decks. It's middle top of the deck. It's kind of like, no one should knows the fact that you can't target it. It is special summons from the grave. With anything but the grave. So it's like an extra deck monster. They can't target this. It doesn't come out much, but it could come out. But yeah, it's mostly just you want to summon, you want the mills, you extend your plays quite a bit. That's good. Dark, just it's dark. Best Link 2. Yeah, just you go to revive, go into one of the Exceed monsters, or usually it's like a Magnum Hunt you revive, and it's like, well, thanks, I'll take the Magnum Hunt search, thanks. And Goddess, it's just you need that for a lot of even the mirror, if you're a mirror or like Borderland, right? You'll want to you can't destroy a battle, you can't target it, you have to I know Goddess it sometimes. I'll just skim through these. I don't know. I don't really want to show too many replays, but it's kind of long a video anyways. I don't really know. No one's gonna watch this anyways. I guess I show replays, but you can stop watching if you don't like watch replays. Yeah, this is just a what's the word? It's a cool deck. I think it's not like maybe the best Beast Show deck. I think maybe Brand the Beast will be better, but it offers a lot of unique interactions and stuff here. I waste Camera here probably, but it might be better. And it's better actually because I know they're gonna handle me for 2, right? And this lab matchup's not the easiest. Yeah, and then the clock gets banished. I want to just win by banishing their grave, and then yeah. So yeah, I have banished for what do I draw? Let's see. Oh yeah, they found my TTT the whole time here. Like draw face. But I do have this perfect hand here. They drop Chaos Phase. I get to draw from Chaos Phase. But then they grab Dimensional Barrier with that, which is like, oh no, Dimensional Barrier, crazy. Or yeah, they also grab the, yeah, there's the Ice Dragon Prison. This is like Dimensional Barrier, I know this, right? So I have to draw Lucky, and I got it. So I can discard Chaos Witch, is perfect. Ecclesia would have been also same thing, same with like Grass. But yeah, so this, he has to pick fusion monsters here, which is huge because now I can make my play with my, because I didn't summon, right? I got negated, so I can still go into my Cast Witch effect. So I get 2 tokens, and it's gonna just explode on them because that's level 8 and level 6. So I go Chaos Ruler things. Still just a dead triple Tactus Talent. Doesn't matter at this point though. This is my game, or not game, but it's gonna be like too much advantage for me. He only has big welcome effect, right? Yeah, so this is just how it's gonna go. Yep, just keep expanding, keep going. And like I said, Beast is good, right? I don't even have Chaos Angel because Chaos Angel is trash against this deck, right? They have like so many removal traps, it doesn't matter. You just want to make as many monsters as you can. Beast is good here, right? I got the Joyous Firm for everything. It's a chain block the Lady Lab. And yeah, it's just gonna be a game. I should another one, I guess. Maybe there's one more. Yeah, but Lab is not. It's a 50-50 matchup in this probably just because they you can stop the furniture, but you can't stop the traps, right? Yeah. So let's see what this deck is. Alright, we have Oh, I went first for some reason. I just decided to. I was like, you know, let me try it. That's what happens. And you kind of see what the deck does going first here instead. Have to banish the Rebellion. Yep, add it back, cause why not? Then Ecclesia, normal summon, go into Golden. That's a Chaos Angel pass, but you have a sword. Yeah, so this is a kind of nice play. What you do here is, in an ideal world, you would be able to transform, banish, whatever, even either Magnum Hut or one of their monsters. Then you would Sword Soul Effect, revive Ecclesia, and then you can tribute her for a quick effect Albaz, and then Albaz can make either of the two fusions, right? But I mean, this doesn't happen because I early grass he just passes, which is like, oh, maybe I should have done that, you know? Because I could have played around. I was trying to play around TTT, but it didn't really matter too much. TTT is really weak, really good against this card right here. Chaos Angel, she just dies to TTT, right? Obviously. I know they're gonna, yep, they're just gonna go Magnum Hut. They're gonna, you know, they stop my Golden Sword Soul because I don't have a Ecclesia Engrave, and I got another one. Perfect. Yeah, just go. Yep, Beast, and I actually went Mirage Dragon because I don't really, I kind of, there's a chance they have more monsters than me, right? So I can still summon it, even with, you know, but now I'm just hoping to, yep, Zombie Vampire, oh, hit with Super Poly, and I have my monsters, so I can summon her. But I think I actually have to do this instead, yep. Gamma, and then, yep, like I said, see, they always summon on the opponent's turn, right? So you can always use Regained Effect. It's so good, it's so good, it's so good. Yeah, Sheridan has to negate. It forces a negate. It forces an. It's huge, right? It's so much for an extra deck, and I can actually make my big play, which is of course the Chaos Ruler, because it's Chaos Ruler. They're gonna red me there. That's gonna be negate, but it's a little too late. And we're just gonna, you know, pop off here, because now I milled a Golden Sword Soul. That's my second one. Got lucky there. That'll trigger with Baldric. Bam, Ecclesia on field. He tries to negate that. I can dodge because quick effect. Can't discard for Albaz, that's fine. I just make him anyways because I'm the only target left in deck. And there are two, yep, and then go recycle her. Another Chaos Angel, or him, sorry. And then, yeah, that's, both are can't be sort of battle, but I don't have the dark effect. I don't have the light effect, only the dark effect. Which is a little unfortunate, but is okay, is okay. But yeah, so he's gonna Rebellion. Yeah, I can get this because he discarded his Cloud by. And then I can just banish every summons, right? He goes for this is a pretty good play though. He doesn't know about the I don't think he knows about this can't be sort of battle, but he still, you know, it's pretty good. He gets this effect. I can make that kind of physical sort of kinda with, you know, he has to then go for this card because he can't use Fawn of Elbaz. Can't be sort of battle, so I get the attack still. This is still quick effect, I think. Yes, he can lower my attack a bit, but I just have too much here for him to deal with. And yeah, yep, I just to be lethal, I think. Yeah, he just surrenders here in a second. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think the brand matchup's pretty fun. It's a 50-50. Mirror Jade's definitely the best card for them because not because of the actual effects on field, it's because of the it's because of the effect engrave. It's crazy. Or in Banish Pile. It's like, whoa, yeah, come my angel. I'll draw a couple more here. I mean, this one, it's gonna be a perfect hand here, just about. See, Regain and Opening is great. Which I think this actually shows it off, maybe? I'm not sure. Field Spell. They have an ideal hand too. I can't really, against this Field Spell, I can't really, summon Serenade that often. I can go for it, but it's like, I'm gonna lose it, right? So it's like, do I want to? Do I not want to? It's just so good. But luckily he used the Shuffler. I get to keep my monster in hand. I don't think, honestly, I don't think you shuffle that. I think you just let me pop it. Maybe I'm just a hater, I don't know. He goes for this, he goes for Kaleido Heart with the empty. Again, he should have just let me summon Serenade. He could have done so much. And he just, yeah, that's a good play though. He popped that to get another effect. Keeps going with Rickolos, and then that's a formidable board for sure, right? And Time Thief Redoer. I could have used this earlier and just like stopped the Redoer down completely, but I didn't really think about it. He will crime my Buckle Eclipse, and I did banish my Serenade, which is good because I have Chaos Space in hand. He's gonna negate that. That's fine because now he's going to send this. I can negate that. And then Ecclesia makes this whole thing work. Actually, don't even go for that play. I use this, he's gonna have to summon back. So because I what's it called? What did I do there? I ashed the Kaleido Heart effect in the grave. So I had to summon back Recluse instead. Recluse doesn't have that send from the deck effect, right? So he triggers my Regained in 2 ways. He triggers it by I get to shuffle back his Redoer, and I get to summon a monster. So like I said, it's a +1. It's a +1, and that gives me the Magnum Heart effect because I used it earlier, got negated. And the Mirror Jade resolves, and then Skullmeister coming up, like Skullmeister, huge. And then this is just, oops, sorry. That should just be a, game. I don't think they don't have a top deck here for that. I just have another, I get someone back this, because I technically sent a Fusion Monster to my grave. And then, yeah, this is good. This is just solid. That's super solid. And, yeah, that's just no way to come back from that. Let's do 2 more, I think. 2 more. Yeah, a lot of good matchups in this deck. I think like the best ones are obviously Tearlament, Kashtira, and actually Dragon, like surprisingly easy because you can disrupt them a lot and they can't really disrupt you that much. Also, but Borland can't out a Chaos Angel with both effects, and you can't out them with Chaos Angel either. It's kind of funny. It's a nice little like stalemate. Yeah, he's gonna try to do this. I want to stop the Magnum Hunt just because I don't want to go to search. I want to keep that search and for next turn at least. This is a pretty long one, I think. A pretty good grind game. I'm just gonna go Verte because he has nothing else. He's gonna, send with with Druid's Farm, and yeah, he has Mirror Jade. I think I do this. I do that. I banish my Druid's Farm. Then I can add it back, because why not? And then I think I go, Mirror, I go Fauna Val, but I don't want to banish my Snow, so I'm just gonna let him banish this, I get the +1, and I want that in the, I want this in my deck anyways for Ecclesia, so it's good. Then he'll finally get his Magnum Head off, which is good for him, but is okay, because I will go for this play here, and I will, and shuffle back, draw, and okay, not a good card at all, but this can kind of work because he's gonna trigger my Regained, right? So I go for that play. I get my wait, do we both get it? Oh, only he gets it. Well, this sucks, but it's the winnable. So yep, Serenade. He's just playing. You know he's gonna finally brand a fusion. He sends Gamma, which I was interesting. That's kind of cool. I don't know why, but I did it. And then Livelion can't attack because he uses the effect. I should have. I think I misplayed hugely here because I go Druid's Farm. I should have instantly right on this chain. I should have. Okay, I'm gonna pop it. But I just looked away and I was like, oh, oops, I missed it. So he gets this, which is huge for him. But this isn't lethal by any means because he can't attack Livelion. And I just got Mirror out of the way. Serenade, so he's gonna, TTT, it's draw 2, still not lethal. And now I'm gonna have my turn, right? So, here's Banishment, which is pretty good for him. But, let's see what I get. So, Golden Sword Soul, it's like, whoa, Golden Sword Soul, huge. May think, why is it huge? But it's huge, I swear. So he's gonna pop that, it's awful for me, I'm dead. He when shuffles back my thing, it's his own draw. But I go for it. Chaos Emperor effect. You see Chaos Emperor effect. It sent the Beast and the Banishment. Both traps are out of the way, which is huge. And now I can revive Snow because quick effect. I had to discard my I actually have 0 cards in my grave right now. I had to banish my thing in my hand. Then I'll go on Sourceful. The rare effect that comes out. You can get your own own attack to summon it from hand. Then you have a level 8, right? So Chaos Roller. It's gonna mill just what I needed there. It's gonna mill the Ecclesia, so I can Golden Soul effect. That's gonna add back Livelion. I can use that effect. No, I already summoned this. I can't summon this turn, but this is huge because now see, no, that's gonna stop that. And it's gonna trigger Golden Soul and then Chaos Angel. And then I can do this, and just an extra thing engrave, and then Livelion. Regained again because I have 3, remember? So it comes up. The second one comes up. He doesn't have any more, I have more. Zombie Vampire. I only have 350 life points, but it's fine. We're chilling. I have Baldric. His Baldric specifically. He's just gonna do this, yeah. He goes for that. It's nothing really good. I don't have any staples besides Gamma, so that's fine. Which Gamma's not gonna be live, I don't think. Goes for the Mirror Jade, pretty good hit. But I can Baldric it. He goes for this. He should have went for the the Baldric, but it wasn't that huge because they still lose everything, right? It doesn't really matter. You know, I'll go Snow, and Snow will get me a draw and trigger my second Golden Sword Soul, which is huge. Only in the end phase, but I don't have any more targets for Ecclesia anyways, I don't think. Actually, I do have what's his face still. Fauna that last, yep, I do have him still. But I had to wait for the end phase because of the Mirror Jade, so. And like I said before, yeah, the Chaos Angel did have both effects, but yeah, the Mirror Jade just doesn't care. The graveyard effect. The Zombie Vampire again, I shuffled back Zombie Vampire last turn. Oh, I was running, what was that? Omega for a bit, instead of I think the Horus I was not running. But Horus is so good. Horus, I would honestly, this should be just second Chaos Ruler if anything, but Horus is better, I think. Yeah, so I go here, I go Beast. And yeah, add back my Magnum Hut. This is live, it's huge, right? See, Beast is so good. And then my whole grave again, banished besides my Ecclesia. And then that's Angel, and that's gonna be game. Right, see, Beast is really good, Beast is good. Same with Archfiend, I don't really make Archfiend that often. Beast is better. Okay, no, I just showed this one. No, I'm wasting time. What the, sorry everyone, there are all two people. Let me just exile this. Sorry. I should just pause. But I don't know. Okay. No, not this one. This one. This I think is my Galaxy Serpent build. The only difference should just be Galaxy Serpent and 3 Dragon Shine. That's about it. Wasn't even running good targets to send with Dragon Shine. I just sent Serenir and Galaxy Serpent. That's a nice little thing you do with level 2 tuner. I think in this replay, so I think I'll show it. Basically is gonna make, because, you know, it's another chaos deck, but not to be rude, I don't think his chaos deck is as good as mine. And it's a hot take, it's a kind of a hot take, I just wanna be honest. Just 40 cards, you're gonna go for this. It's just gonna be Dragon Link Chaos, which doesn't feel that cool, honestly. It feels kind of lame. Not to be rude, I don't want to be rude, I just don't like, I think Dragon Link is okay, it's an okay deck. It's not like cringe, but it's like, it's like an you know, it's like whatever. But I'm gonna go for this card, I'm gonna go that, and I'm gonna hit, yeah, that's a huge choke point. I gotta find the choke point. If you have one beast on hand against this deck, just find the choke point. It's always a choke point. Whatever the combo is, you're gonna have something that takes away one of the cards, and takes away something. This is that choke point. So they're forced to now, they get lucky with that card. Insane. But yeah, so they go into that, and they have Dark. They don't have a summon. I don't know why they want this, but they want the float, I guess. The ad that one's destroyed, I guess. Yeah. But easy grass, easy. Just open it, just draw it. It's easy. You have 2 of them, just draw them. But yep. So we're gonna go. Yep. That's why Golden Sword Soul is better, because if you grass, right, you still get Golden Sword Soul. I think it's worth it. Unfortunately, the Abaz was milled, but we can work around that by just spamming their stuff with Chaos Angels, right? So, yep. This play, we're just gonna kind of abuse. Oh, this play I'm running Nifroth. Nifroth is so bad in this meta. It never resolves. If it resolves, you're not gonna win. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a light. I was like, oh, it's a light. It's crazy, but no. That's what I think before I was running. Was I not running? I think maybe it was no TTT and no Book of Eclipse. I think that's what I was cutting. Yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be a triple Chaos Angel turn. And I think I have game and BM. I don't know this can't be destroyed battle yet. And I realized it too late. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do whatever. I win. And I'm like, wait, it doesn't get destroyed. I'm like, oh no. Like, I can't do anything. You can't either. And I'm gonna add that back. Cause I can still send it, right, with this at worst case. But, yeah, I really shouldn't have summoned this. Cause now it's gonna do damage to it, right? I'm like, oh no. Ow. Yep, so there. But I can't be destroyed by battle either. I have three, they both have all three effects, by the way. Like, all these are three effects, right? Just kill, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. But gonna go on the Villion. That's gonna start, you know, always go for the regained. And then this is a good card here, GTT. I think I just go for the archetypal, not archetypal, but I just do, I should just use this effect, I think. I believe it is, yeah. I use the effect, he negates it. Because you have to negate it, even though you don't want to. Like, I would lose all these cards, but he doesn't care. Negates it because he would lose all his. I just have 2 Nibiru's. Nibiru sucks. No, don't run Nibiru. Do not run Nibiru. Unless you're like running like effect there, don't run it. Don't run it. Yeah, that's game. With that, yep. So yeah, but yeah, it's like I said, it's the pendulum just there for baits. It's 100% just, you know, the effects on the field is for baits and for banishing and adding from banish pile. Yeah, just lastly, I suppose I should like, if you want to play this deck, I would say your best matchups are gonna be, yeah, like I said, Tier, Cash, and Dragon Link. Your 50-50 is gonna be like more like branded. Flu Wanderers is 50-50. You can usually play around there. Pen, it's actually the scary stuff is more like the bounce and the negate. And the negate's not, don't waste on the negate too often. You can still usually get grass off, but it's the trap. It's the trap and grave. That summons another time. That grave effect's really good against you, because if you same with Book of Eclipse, by the way. If you get flipped down, your Chaos Angel loses both effects, right? This kind of sucks. But yeah, so yeah, you can just, you know, hopefully Skullmeister that, but yeah, that's the main weakness. But you can usually play through it or summon Baron instead, and it's like, okay, whatever. And defense, right? it comes up, yeah, that's always good. And then Labyrinth is 50-50. I'd say it could be worse, it could be better. My main thought is like banishing is really strong, and you do kill their furniture, right? So they weren't very furniture heavy. You just banish it before they get to do anything else, and that's gonna be a huge -1 every time they use one. I mean, you have enough bestials in hand. And banishing is really good against them because they have graveyard recursion, right? So even if you banish Big Welcome, they don't get the effect, so it's like fine. It's not that bad. If you have to banish a Big Welcome to force it out. And the bad matchups are probably just Sprite, Trap Tricks, and Sword Soul. Sword Soul is by far the worst. You gotta hope to God hand against Sword Soul. Or like have like Ecclesia into like grass or something. I don't know. Even Ecclesia into grass is not enough, right? Because they just have Baron and assuming they have Baron, I imagine. They would go like Ecclesia into, you know, you go like this into this. They would Shi Zhao, you know, or they would just do Blackout, and then they would Baron your grass, right? So it's like really tough to win. But you can have certain combos that have even more. You know, these two are good, and I didn't really play too many Sword Souls, but the 2 I faced I lost to, I think. Yeah, that was pretty bad. And Trap Tricks honestly is rough, but they don't usually open well enough to do much, unfortunately. And the Sprite is just, it's you know, you can't use Book of Eclipse. You could switch out Book of Eclipse if you're really worried about Sprite, but I don't see that much of a matter, so I was like, whatever. And Autos is huge there because they have to negate stuff, and TTT is good against them, right? Because they have to IP almost always. And I think I mean technically the beach shows I can play into, but they usually don't. And Skullmeister comes up against them too. That's a pretty good like snow, you know, snow flip down their step down their carrot. They can't do anything if you grass them, right? Snow plus there's these little like 2-card ways to win, but yeah, you're not often gonna see them. That's why Sprite and Trap Tricks and Sword Soul are just bad to base, but they're not too common. It's mostly the Tier and Cash are huge. Same with Dragon Link. They're all gonna be commons. It's all good matchups, right? They're all good matchups. And the rogue stuff is like gonna be, you know, in varying difficulty and good stuff. But yeah, that's kinda it. So I hope you enjoyed my deck, and I would say I think more people should play Ecclesia because she's really really good, and you can summon Golden Sword Soul and you can summon Elbaz. You can also technically summon like Iris Sword Soul if you wanted to. It's level 8 if you want to make like zombie vampire focus or more, right? It's kind of there. It's a light. You could revive it with golden if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna run it personally because it's a brick and hit if you don't have if you're not running imperms. Imperms are good by the way to play around TTT. But I'm putting so many monsters, I'm not gonna really worry about it too much. If you want to play like Imperm instead, then you can run Iris instead, and you can run to more level 8s, maybe run Assault Synchron. If you wanted to run, yeah, I would say if you want to run this, you would have to probably cut these 3 cards. Then you have to throw in it's Dark level 2 with Tuna. Probably 3 of this, I think, somehow. Or maybe Shinobi Necro could be good too, right here. I love this card, but I don't think it's that good. You have to put many monsters face down. Right, Time Reviver Emitter. Yeah, probably like, maybe not this, but it would be some combination to cut more cards. Probably Skull Monsters, honestly. Or something like this, yeah. Yep, that's probably what you do. Yeah, that's probably, yeah. But, wait, no, sorry. I forgot Imperm. I need Imperm. Imperm. I should go. I should stop this, though. Thank you, everyone who is somehow listening to this. I don't know if you are, but, I think it's gonna be 0 left, so, yeah, yeah, thanks, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Just don't play this. It's worse. Don't play this. Bye bye.